You are listening to the Agent Survival Guide podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Ruppel, and today we've got our annual survival guide for holiday toy shopping. This is one of my favorite episodes to put together every year, and this year was no exception. Quick background if this is your first foray into our toy list. Every year, I scour the web, compiling my list of holiday toy candidates and then whittling it down to a list of 10 toys. That is not an easy task because I typically end up with a couple of ties. This year, we only have 2, which is a nice change. New for this year, I feel like there are some toys that always pop up in our list just because of their general popularity. And while, yes, they have earned their space in our hearts, that doesn't necessarily mean they should always appear on the list. It's just no fun if we're always talking about the same old thing. So this year, we've officially retired 3 toy brands from the list: Barbie, Lego, and Play-Doh. And the reason being, the Barbie Dream House is always on the toy list, and I don't feel like I need to continue highlighting it. Am I maybe a little bitter that I never had one? Perhaps, but this is not the space for that kind of self-work. Lego has hit the retirement list because no matter what year it is, there's some sort of Lego set that's new and exciting. And the Lego set you get as a gift is largely based on the interests of the person you're giving it to. And then last but not least, we're officially retiring Play-Doh from the list because there are a ton of different sets you can buy, but also no parent really wants you to give Play-Doh to their child. It is the mess that keeps on giving long after you think you've disposed of it all. Also, new for this year, something I noticed while doing my research, there were quite a few more traditional toys that made each list, rather than just the trendy of the moment type toys. I also noticed more games this time around, which I'm not sure if that's reflective of a greater trend or if my perception has shifted because my daughter is getting older. At any rate, we will still count down the episode from 10 to 1, but after that, think of it as an honorable mention of sorts. We'll talk about some of those traditional games with a fun new twist. So let's get started at number 10. The Primal Hatch Jurassic World T-Rex Interactive Egg and Dinosaur. Think of this as the Jurassic Park themed Hatchimal. We start out with an egg that hatches into an interactive dinosaur toy that you can continue playing with and training. It makes all sorts of sounds and reacts to things you do, and you can either train it to be friendly or fierce. Moving on to number 9, Love Every Play Kits. This is for the littles in your life, age 4 and under. Choose from a variety of different play kits based on the age of the child you're shopping for. One that kept popping up in several lists was the Helper Play Kit, which is made for kids just over the age of 2. There's a sync playset for water play, a color matching activity, art kit, puzzle, books, and more, designed with Montessori practical skills in mind. The Helper Kit is just one of many other similar-sized kits, but there are also smaller mini versions, standalone toys for purchase, and then everything aligns with development milestones, so this is a gift you can feel good about giving. Number 8, we are still somehow living in a Furby renaissance, and this time around, it's the DJ Furby topping toy lists. We've given the traditional Furby a longer pillow-like body and fluffy tail. This version plays songs and sounds in addition to speaking English and Furbish. There are lights and fun songs to move around to, and also breathing exercises and guided yoga to cool down and calm down. It's an interesting new take on the original, and if I had to purchase a Furby, I think this is the one I would gift rather than the original. Number 7. The best way I can describe this one is slime, but make it aesthetic. Gooey Gooey Slime takes packaging notes from all the aesthetic skincare brands tweens love and turns it into a slime experience. It's a 5-step process that starts with scented slime, to which you add a booster and charms, finish it off with sparkle, and then there's also a collectible figurine included. Best of all, you can choose your texture, gloss, clear, butter, or cloud, and that's important because every kid has their own favorite slime texture. Number 6. This game takes that old spinning, chomping fish game of the 80s to the next level. Cows in space pits players literally head-to-head in a race to abduct the most cows. Our spinning base is a farm, complete with a barn and 21 magnetic cows. Players don headbands featuring a magnetic UFO on a leash of sorts. And then once the wheel starts to spin, it is a race to see who can pick up the most cows. Number 5. She came in at number 1 last year, but this year, the top Bluey toy lands in the number 5 position. Pretty solid showing, and in all fairness, she had some pretty stiff competition this year. The Bluey and Bingo Supermarket playset packs a lot of fun into 3 levels. There's an elevator, store displays, and grocery pieces, including small grocery bags to fill. And then to top it all off, there are grocery store sounds that your kiddo controls from a remote that hangs on the side of the playset. Next on our list, at number 4, another playset. This one from a TV show turned movie, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, Meow-mazing interactive dollhouse. This playset is also 3 stories, features a working elevator and a curly slide, with 6 rooms and accessories, so your kiddos can recreate the magic of Gabby's Dollhouse. The doors of the dollhouse have space for balconies, which are buildable elements available separately to add to the fun, and then those are themed around the different cats from the show. There are also additional character packs that include several cat figurines from the show. So if your child has a particular favorite, like, say, Cat Rat, highly recommend grabbing one of those additional packs to include with the dollhouse. Number 3, interactive toys are always great for the holidays, especially if you're gifting them at a location without a lot of toys. Always a huge fan of this type of toy. And this one popped up everywhere on toy lists. Maggie, the feed and follow cow, is absolutely adorable. She's an interactive plush with a tail that swishes and eyes that open and close. Kids can feed her, take her for a walk, pet her, and she reacts with both sound and movement. Number 2, this pick is one that I was happy to see in so many different gift lists, the Tony Box 2. This is the 2nd generation version of the audio player that now does so much more than just play stories. So the Tony Box is the audio player, and Tonys are either figurines or cartridges that magnetically attach to the top of the box. Tonys contain songs, stories, and even games with the new Tony Play accessory. Each Tony contains an NFC, or near-field communicator chip, that contains content. After a Tony is played for the first time, the content is available to be accessed while offline, and each Tony box can hold up to 200 Tonys. One of the biggest features of the Tony Box 2 is the fact that it's screen-free fun for your kids. It's designed for them to be able to use it without help from an adult. And as an added bonus, it can function as a night light on a timer, and as a sunrise alarm when it's in the 3+ age mode. There are a lot of different Tonys to choose from, so the Tony box is a pretty cool gift. Much more kid-friendly than my old Fisher-Price record player. And let me tell you, we use that a lot. My love of stories runs deep. And now, coming in at number 1 on our list, every which way you bundle it, the Nintendo Switch 2 tops our list of holiday toys for 2025. The second version of the Nintendo Switch includes quite a few upgrades compared to the original Nintendo Switch. The screen is larger, resolution is better, the graphics perform and look better, the Joy-Con controllers are bigger with optical sensors, and then there are also new features and games. 2 of those new games are available as bundles with the Switch 2, Pokemon Legends Z to A, or Mario Kart World. Most of the lists I saw featured the Mario Kart World bundle. You do save a little bit of money going the bundle route, about half the price of another game. And there are quite a few Switch 2 versions of games available now, and according to Nintendo, most of the regular Switch games can be played on the Switch 2. My recommendation: get a bundle and add in another game or two. That is a fantastic gift. It also may or may not be on my own holiday wish list simply because of Mario Kart World. But now that we've unveiled our top 10 list, let's talk games, because this was a toy category that seemed to come up more than in years past, just not enough to inundate our top 10 list. There were a few interesting variations on the classics that are worth mentioning here, starting out with Monopoly. This is quite honestly the board game that will not quit, and they have made so many variations on it. There's an app banking version with no paper money, just debit cards. There are countless movie editions. And then the one that intrigued me the most, Monopoly Scrabble. It supposedly combines the best parts of both games into one board game, and that may or may not be on its way to my house for the holidays. Tamagotchi has hit its next evolution with the Tamagotchi Paradise. If you haven't seen a Tamagotchi in a while, this one is full color. There are 50,000 different characters to raise, and Paradise shells can connect to other Paradise shells to see how your Tamas interact. Rubik's Cube has branched out into a few different variations. There's a 2x2 cube, a 5x5 cube that looks terrifying, a pyramid-shaped cube, character cubes, and more. I thought about ordering the light-up version for fun, but then I read that the idea is to solve it before the lights go out, and well, out of my cart it went. Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza will forever be a favorite in our house. There is a holiday version called Moose Match Mayhem that you can pick up to spice things up for the holidays. This version swaps out the Taco Cat Goat Cheese and Pizza for a Moose, Bear, Squirrel, Yeti, and Avalanche. And then another card game, Uno, Show 'em No Mercy, which adds cards, new rules, and penalties to make gameplay a little more savage. In addition to Draw 2 and Draw 4, there are Draw 6 and Draw 10 cards. Wild Draw 6 and Wild Draw 10 continue to add to the calamity. And then there's Skip Everyone, which would be a welcome change when you're playing against more than one person. Definitely an Uno game that's not for the faint of heart or for those who aren't good sports. That is half the fun of Uno. Now, before we put the bow on this episode, I just want to say thank you to all of you who have listened to and supported the Agent Survival Guide podcast. We are here to help you survive today so you can thrive tomorrow. And that includes holiday toy shopping so you can get back to your families that much faster. Hopefully, we've given you some good ideas for your list this year. Coming up, we've got more holiday episodes that we'll be sprinkling in with our regular programming. The best way to make sure you don't miss out on any of those episodes is by following along with our show. That is honestly the greatest gift you could give us this year. And that's all we've got for this week. I hope you have a fantastic holiday season and best of luck shopping.
The Agent Survival Guide podcast is a production of Ritter Insurance Marketing, an integrity company. This episode of the ASG Podcast was written and produced by my mom, Sarah Ruppel. Script proofing by Tina Lamoureux, and podcast design by Urban Rivera. Follow along with the show wherever you like to listen, and happy holidays!